Next, we've got really cool class, the Kenku. The Kenku are kind of like cursed raven folk. They're small, and I don't remember what they've done, but like back in the day, they did something to anger their god, and I think it was something about thievery or something, and their god actually took away their voice and their wings. So the Kenku dream is to one day learn how to fly again and learn how to talk again. They make natural thieves and spies, which are really cool. So they're very, very dexterous. So because they can't talk, Kenku have learned to mimic other creatures. So when you're choosing to roleplay Kenku, you have to be really careful, because if you mimic throughout an entire campaign, it can get really annoying for the other players. So probably a barrier, to overcome that barrier, you could easily say the voice you're doing and what it means, and that is easier for all the players. But this is definitely an underrated class, and very interesting to play. If you want to play something challenging, a Kenku would be interesting because of the no voice sort of situation. Next, you've got the lizard folk. They're kind of like scaly reptilian beings. Civilization, what is that? That's pretty much the idea of a lizard folk. They are definitely natural nature beings. They are seen in a lot of swamps, and they're all about survival. So social etiquette, they have no clue what that is, which kind of can make it very interesting and funny madness for your party. Because they've lived in nature their entire lives, they are very hardy, so they are very adverse to poisons and all sorts of stuff. They're also very perceptive as well, because once again, they have to survive. A couple of their abilities is they've got natural armor that is awesome. They can bite. They can make things out of bones. Really, really cool. Another kind of, I feel like they're kind of like another tough, challenging character to play. Next, you've got the Tabaxi. Tabaxi are kind of like humanoid cat creatures, and their sort of thing is they're like gnomes. They're very curious, but whereas like the difference between Tabaxis and gnomes and their curiosities is that Tabaxi is curious about something like a trinket or a story for a little bit, and then they sort of get bored with it and they're like, whatever. But they make very good travelers and wanderers. They are very big in their traveling and seeing the world. Like lizard folk, they have claws. They can scratch you, so that's really cool. They're also very talented. They're very agile, very, very agile. They're cat creatures, of course. They're also very charismatic because they're natural storytellers. Last of all, I will give you the last of the Bowler's Guide to Monster Races. We have got the Triton. We've got the Protectors of Water. So we have the Protectors of the Seas. They have their settlements underwater, and they're variants in what things they're good at. They are strong, tough, and charismatic. They kind of resemble elves, except they're shorter. They're blue skinned, and they have webbed feet, and they have fins on them and whatnot. Kind of what makes a Triton interesting is not all of them, but a lot of them are very arrogant and haughty because they feel like people. They don't feel like people should bow down to them or anything, but they feel like people owe them. People owe them respect because they are the protectors of the underworld. They make good fighters, good paladins, and whatnot. So they are very interesting. In fact, I've never seen anyone play a Triton before. So there may be your chance if you're interested. Don't be hesitant. So those kind of like all the good races. I'm going to quickly list off some of the evil sort of races that you can play as. And why I say evil is because most of these guys are evil, and if you ever see one of these characters in a city or in a tavern, people will probably attack them on sight. So you have to have a good reason for playing these characters, but they are playable, and with the right communication between the player and the dungeon master, you may be able to play as one. So let me go through them quickly. You've got your Goblin. you know what a goblin is? They're dexterous. You've got hobgoblins. They're kind of like, whereas goblins are the small guys, hobgoblins are like tall, they're more leader types, and they're more intelligent as well. They have tactical minds. And then you've got these creatures called bugbears. They're kind of in the goblin family, but they're tall, muscular, and hairy. They're strong, but they're dexterous as well. Kobolds are like little dragon people, I guess. They are dexterous, but they are weak as piss, and they're better in packs than they are by themselves. A kobold on their own will barely survive the world. You've got orcs. They are strong, and they're tough, but they're stupid as fuck. And then you've got the Yuan-ti pureblood. So the Yuan-ti are a snake people race, and pureblood essentially means that they're the more human side of the Yuan-ti. They are charismatic, intelligent. They have magic resistance, which is really interesting. So they are themselves are natural rogues and spellcasters. Thank you very much for putting up for this as long for the races, but you saw some really, really cool races there. So start thinking about what you want to play as. Like, what seems like a cool, fun race to play as. Keep in mind that if you're joining this game, you may be playing over 2 years. So you really want to pick a race that you think will be fun and worthwhile, and you think you can create a great, engaging backstory behind. Next, we're going to go into classes, which will be. We'll take less time than these races because there are less classes, but these are my favourite things to talk about classes, so keep tuned for that.